Hello, it is 12:29. I will be starting in a minute. Hello, IKEA. First Lady. Okay, it is 12:30. Please share. Please share the live. Please comment. Just come on in. I just want to say that I haven't been up here in a while. I know you haven't heard from me. I have been, just trying to get other things in line and everything. But today I just want to jump on in and talk about the process. A lot of times, our life journey, the things that we're going through is our process. So first, just want to break down the definition of process. Process is a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. So if it's a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end, then there are going to be, some things that you have to set up for your process. Sometimes it's not always what we want and how we want it to be, but therefore our process still take place. So one thing that we have to do in our process, we have to trust our process. It comes with a lot of obstacles, endeavors, hardship, heartbreaks, emotions, everything that you can name. Our process brings us, but it only helps us to build character, to build integrity, to build perseverance, determination and everything, to keep us moving in the right direction. Also, in the definition of process, and I did get this off of Oxford American Dictionary, but this says a natural or involuntary series of changes. So sometimes in our process, some things that we can change, and then sometimes it's involuntary things that happen in our lives to get us, where we need to be. So sometimes it's stuff that we have changed, and then it's some things that has changed around us. I'll put it that way. So, by that being said, I looked up the word responsibility. I don't know why I really did, but I just feel like, honestly, sometimes majority of the time in your process, or in your life, you have a responsibility. And so I looked up the word responsibility, and it is the state or fact of having a duty to deal with something, or having control over someone. So I was really trying to figure out, why I even looked it up. And once again, I do come from a Christian background, so I always go back to the word. So I really started asking God, why did I start looking up the word responsibility, because that's what came to me. But it's almost like the word responsibility is the ability to respond to our life situations, no matter what is being thrown our way, to make sure we achieve our goals that we have set before ourselves. So it's being able to respond to your situation. So you have to have the ability on the inside to respond to your situation that you're going through. Sometimes we go off of impulse. Sometimes, we have some people that goes off of impulse, and then we have some people that thinks about a lot of things first before reacting upon. But in any situation that you're given, whether it's positive, whether it's negative, you have to be able to respond, or have the ability to respond to your situation. No matter what the enemy has brought to you, no matter what your situations look like, whether it's good or bad, we have to have the ability on the inside to respond to our situations. We can't let the things around us control our lives. Rather, we have to control the very things, the very things that are in our environment, so it won't detour our process. Because a lot of times we get hooked up with different things in our environment that detours our process. So with this being said, the other definition that I saw as well with responsibility is the state or fact of being accountable. Ooh, I love it because, a lot of us do not like to be accountable for the very things that we have done, or we are doing, or have done in our past, or whatever. And a lot of us don't like to be accountable or being blamed for what we have done in our lives. Yet we have to take on that responsibility for the things that have came forth in our lives, in our process, that has gotten us off course, that made us not reach those goals in time. However, this brought me to Luke chapter 1, when it was talking about how the angel Gabriel came to visit Elizabeth and Mary. And both of these women were in their old age, but yet they were in amazement at what God was doing in that hour and season of their life. And God had really been dealing with me on that, because I was like, God, what are you trying to say? You're using these two women that were, giving birth. Elizabeth was giving birth to John the Baptist, and Mary was giving birth to Jesus. But yet they were pregnant at this present moment. And in your process, God starts to impregnate you with gifts, different talents, different things that He wants you to come forth with. So sometimes, number one, sometimes you have to be like Elizabeth and tell no one about your process, or what is being placed on the inside of you, or what you are birthing. And I know you're like, what are you trying to say? In the in chapter 1 of Luke, it starts to say that in Elizabeth was 5 months pregnant, but yet she told no one. She couldn't tell no one. 2, you need a Mary experience, that she had to make her own way to someone else that was going to the same place she was going. And I know a lot of people are like, what do you mean by that? A lot of times we are trying to tag along people that are not going where you are going, or let alone have anything that is being birthed on the inside of them. So a lot of times we are trying to connect ourselves with other people that are not trying to go nowhere else. that they're satisfied and comfortable with being mediocre, or comfortable just, making, the bare minimum, or, just right there at minimum wage, or don't want to be, entrepreneurs, or, doctors or lawyers out here in the field and everything, but you just have some people that are just satisfied just being where they are, and will drag you down when on the inside you have something greater than what they have. And I'm not trying to be like that, and it's not in arrogance or anything, but you have to separate yourself. But one thing that I did like about Mary was Mary went to Elizabeth. She went to the city of Judah, and she had to go find Elizabeth, and she found somebody that was pregnant, that was going through the same thing she was going through, that she was going to connect with somebody that was going, or has already gotten to a place where she was trying to go. What are you trying to say, Shakira? What I'm trying to say is, a lot of times what we have to do is we have to connect ourselves with people that have already been where we're trying to go, or is going to the same place that you're going. Because when both of them met together, that's when their babies had leaped. And it was like it was in agreements to what God has already placed on the inside of both of them. Therefore, you start, the people that don't have anything on the inside of them, they start feeding off of your gift, your baby that is being birthed. You have leechers. You have people out here that don't mind leeching off of you. They will do all they can to ride off of your gift. They do all they can to ride off of what you have on the inside of you. Yet they have nothing on the inside of them. And you preach to them, you say to them all day long, not so much preaching, but you talk to them and say, girl, we can go, let's go out and step out on faith and, come up with this business or something. But then you'll still have a doubter like, no, I don't think I can, go and do anything. I'm okay right here, or step out and do anything. And so, I'm telling you today to just trust your process. Please trust your process. But one thing that came to mind was when these people that likes to leech off your gift or your baby that's being birthed, as soon as you see the very one you told about your process, the very one you told about your baby that is being birthed on the inside of you, they start to do the same thing you ran and told them about. And you was like, I only told one person, so I don't even know how this got out. I don't know how, I started to do one thing, and then the person that I thought was close to me that I could share this with, not knowing that they don't have a baby on the inside, that they don't have nothing stirring up on the inside of them. So therefore, they heard what you said that God told you. They took that and ran with it. But one thing that they failed to realize was that the thing that God has birthed on the inside of you, He prepared your anointing so it will last. Y'all, I'm getting so happy on the inside. I was so joyous just how God was just pouring into me when He was talking about this. Because a lot of times These people that run off with the baby that you have birthed or you had told them about, they'll try to go out and start that very thing that you have told them about, yet they didn't understand that, or they didn't realize that when God was preparing your baby, when God was developing your baby on the inside of you, that gift on the inside of you, he was preparing you for your anointing, for your character, for your integrity. So they didn't realize that theirs won't gonna last, because God didn't put that on the inside of them. It wasn't gonna last. So all the while that God has been, been taking you through, has been testing you, seeing if you're going to be faithful, seeing if you're going to stand the testing of time, seeing if you was going to be obedient to what he has already placed on the inside of you, and then not go and tell anybody about it right then and there. Sometimes you just have to keep your mouth closed. Sometimes even to the familiar ones that are around you, sometimes you can't even tell them until God actually manifests that thing and they see it come to pass. Then sometimes you want to say something just to let people know that you're actually hearing from God yourself, and that it's just confirmation, just being told and everything else. So I get that sometimes, don't get me wrong, I get that. But sometimes we have to slow down and not let our right hand know what our left hand is doing. Because sometimes we get too carried away because we feeling so joyous on the inside of what God is already doing in our lives. So therefore, we want to go and tell somebody. And that's a good thing, don't get me wrong. But some people are there to prey on your gift, to prey on that very thing that God has birthed on the inside of you. And they want you to fail. They want you to fall. They don't want you to succeed. They want you to be where they are. They don't want you to go any higher than what they are, because they're not doing anything. So who you surround yourself with, who you keep in your company, is who you're going to become. You can't tell me that it's not true, because even if you would just take a time to see some of your friends that you hang around, sometimes you pick up different sayings that they say, or different things that they do, and you wonder sometimes to yourself, I done picked up this and I didn't even understand how I was starting to act like this person. And it's not in a bad way, because these people are genuinely good people, but at the same time you pick up things that fast. So if you got people that are around you that's not stirring up their gifts, that's not holding you accountable for what God has already placed inside of you, that you're not holding them accountable for what God has placed inside of them, then it's almost like they're going to drag you down. They're going to keep you at that place that you've been trying to fight and release yourself from. Do not, I promise, if God has already told you something, it's already in your spirit. So you don't have to get any validation from anybody of saying, I need to do this or I need to do that, because a lot of times we waiting on other people to see what they're going to say. Honey, we have to get victory over people. Trust me. That's our biggest thing. We have to get victory over people, because people will have you up today and they will have you down tomorrow. I mean, they did it to Jesus. The people that called Jesus, at the same time, they said crucify him. So why do we think it, anything for us, for, man to put us up one day and then down the next day? So therefore, I'm just I'm telling you today to just trust your process in everything that you do. Please trust your process. Because God has placed something inside of you. And even with the scripture, talking about Elizabeth and Mary, it was in their old age that God actually used them to have a child in their older age. So no matter how long it takes, Because see, a lot of us, especially in our generation, don't get me wrong, we're the type of people that if we don't see anything manifest, within the next couple of days or next couple of weeks, we start to give up on our process. When God really wants to see where we're really going to stand. That's why a lot of times God don't bless us with all the money that we think we can handle at the very moment, because a lot of times we feel like, or the people that are around us, if we making all this money and you have people, or God bless us with money that he believes that we can handle, and you have people around you that don't have anything, what do you think they're gonna do to you? Oh, can I get this? Oh, can I get that? By the time you give out your money, you ain't gonna have nothing left. So sometimes God wants to see us, are we going to distance ourselves already from the people that we need to be distant from, so he can open up the windows of heaven and pour us out a blessing that we won't have room enough to receive. Because if not, those type of people is going to prey on your gift, is going to prey on that baby that God has placed on the inside of you. And I just hope that you all trust your process. I'm trusting mine by every day. Every day, I'm trusting my process. I told y'all in a couple of videos before that, things didn't go out the way that I wanted it to go. That, I wanted to be, finished with school. I have, gotten associates, don't get me wrong. But I haven't finished my, bachelor's yet. And, for the longest, I've always said to myself, like, God, I would have thought by now I would have been finished with all of this type of stuff and been in my career like I was supposed to be. And God says, I don't, I have you another way. Things didn't go planned out like I really wanted it to, but yet I'm still trusting my process, that God is going to see me through the very end of all of this that God has been stirring up on the inside. So today, please, 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 I encourage you to trust your process. Please trust your process. Everything is not always mapped out how we want it to be mapped out. We, everything don't go our way. Even when we can't see God, even when we can't hear God, still trust your process. Because you cannot lean to your own understanding, but in all your ways you have to acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Trust me. Because the steps of a good man is ordered by God. So no matter what you have done, no matter if you come from a good family of, privileged things, or you came, or you didn't come from that, or make your process how you need to make your process. And even with Mary and Elizabeth, like I said, they were in their older age that they was giving birth to two great men of God, the Son of God, and John the Baptist. And they were honestly in amazement themselves of what God was doing in that hour. Yet, Mary even says, God, you are using the low estate. Like, she was basically saying to herself, like, you're using somebody that is not even worth looking at around in my society. And that's what I'm here to tell you today. Just because what you look like in your society don't match up how people want you to look around them, doesn't mean that very thing that's on the inside of you is not far more greater than what they can see. So just because they can't see it, what's on the inside doesn't mean that it's not there. So I encourage you today to stir up those gifts that's on the inside of you, to do not go and be so hasty to go and run and tell what your process is about, what God is really doing on the inside of you. Do not be so hasty. Be still and know that God, He is God. Stand on His word, stand on His promises, because He is not slack concerning His promises for the saints of God, for the people of God. Please be encouraged on today and know that I'm here. We're going to get through this thing together. Trust me, we are. No matter how long it takes. No matter how long it takes. Just trust your process. Make yourselves accountable. Make yourselves responsible. Respond. Have that ability to respond back to the situations that come in your life, to those endeavors, those obstacles in your life. Be able to respond back. Sometimes it's not always how we want to respond or how we feel like responding at the time. But trust your process. Please trust your process. Woo! I'm feeling it today. I'm feeling happy on today and excited for what God is doing, not only in my life, but in your life on today. Because He's stirring up those gifts. Everything that has been locked up, every experience you have been through, everything that you have been going through is only for God to get the glory out of your life. So trust your process. Please trust your process on today. I hope you were blessed. Once again, I still have, I'm still here. Please leave your comments, your any concerns, anything you want me to talk about. However, I am very open. God just deals with me on different things that that I feel that is needed sometimes for people, and so I'm just trying to be open to God for what He has, and then open to you all, the public, to the viewers out there. Please share this video. I'm here. If you need to contact me, please contact me on careforothers19@gmail.com. Please, if you want to purchase any shirts or anything, I'm still doing that as well. I do have on one that you can kind of see today. So please let me know if you need any help with anything. I am here. Trust me, I haven't given up on you guys. I know I have been off the air just a little bit with the lives and everything, but trust me, I am still here for you all. Please keep me in your prayers, and I'll definitely keep you in mind. So yes, I hope you enjoyed on today. Please share, even subscribe on my YouTube channel, Care for Others, Pound Care for Others. Please, I beg of you to share. Just share this on today, and just know that you have to trust your process and everything that you go through, and just know that I care for you. I really do. I care for you. I love you all. I love everybody that's watching. I didn't call out everybody's name or anything like that, but I do appreciate all the likes and everything, and the shares and everything. Please comment. Please leave your comments. I love you all, and there is nothing there is nothing that you can do about it. Be blessed on today. Bye-bye.